use ANCHE in Italian? Well, using ANCHE in Italian is a powerful way to connect ideas. But here's a tricky part, figuring out where it fits within a sentence. Should it lead the way at the beginning, or is it better drop somewhere in the middle? Confused? Nessun problema. In this lesson, I'll walk you through all the different ways to use ANCHE and show you where to place it in a sentence. By the end, you'll not only master it, but you might anche also love it. And don't worry about taking notes, I've done all the hard work for you. To help you to practice what you're about to learn here today, make sure you download your free PDF cheat sheet, which includes all the vocabulary and examples from this lesson. Just click on the link in the description box below this video. Pronti? Are you ready? Iniziamo! Let's get started. Now, what is anche in Italian? Anche is an important conjunction that helps you enrich your Italian sentences in a variety of ways, from expressing agreement to adding new information. Typically,
Anche
doesn't stand alone and always connects to another part of the sentence. One exception is in short responses, where the rest of the sentence is implied. This is very common in everyday conversations. Take a look at this example.
Vai al mercato sabato mattina?
Are you going to the market Saturday morning?
Sì, certo.
Yes, of course.
E tua mamma?
And your mum?
Anche.
Her too. In this case, anche implies the full sentence, which is my mum is going to. Attenzione, there's another word that looks the same as anche but has a different meaning.
Anche.
The plural feminine form of
Anca.
which means hip, the body part. Usually the context will make it clear which meaning is intended, but it's important to pay attention, especially when writing or reading, to avoid any misunderstandings. Take a look at this example.
Anche le anche sono da operare.
The hips also need surgery. Now, to learn how to use 59 conjunctions in Italian, like anche, make sure you watch my video lesson right here. Okay, let's take a look at 6 ways to use anche in Italian. The word anche is incredibly versatile, with meanings ranging from also, and to, and even, and beyond. But let's break it down and explore its various uses in different contexts, with examples to guide you along the way. The first one is using anche to add information. One of the most common uses of anche in Italian is to add something extra to what's already been said. It's like when you use also or to in English to expand on what's already been mentioned. For example,
Ho mangiato la pasta e anche un po' di pizza.
I ate the pasta and I also ate a bit of pizza. Here, anche is adding pizza to the list of things you ate.
Anche oggi nevica.
Today it is also snowing. In this case, anche suggests that it's not just snowing today, but it has been for several days.
Ho preso la multa anche questa volta.
I got fined this time too. Here, anche is used to emphasize that you've been fined again, not just the once. Are you enjoying this lesson? Don't let the learning stop here. Make sure you download your free PDF cheat sheet, which you'll find a link to in the description box below this video. Now, we also use anche to strengthen a point. Now, anche can also be used to stress or intensify the point being made, similar to the English even. In this case, it frequently appears alongside the adverb
Troppo.
too much. Take a look at these examples.
Hai detto anche troppo per i miei gusti.
You've said even too much for me. Here, anche emphasizes that more was said than necessary.
Sono stata anche troppo paziente con te.
I've even been too patient with you. In this case, anche highlights that the speaker has already been more than patient than the situation deserved. We also use anche to express agreement. Another common use of anche in Italian is to show agreement or to indicate that you're in the same situation as someone else, similar to saying to in English. When using it in this sense, anche is often followed by a subject pronoun. That is,
io,
I,
tu.
you, and so on, which is typically optional in Italian, but necessary here for clarity. Take a look at these examples.
Oggi sarà una giornata difficile in ufficio.
Today will be a tough day at the office.
Sì, lo penso anch'io.
Yes, I think so too.
Domani andiamo al concerto di Bocelli.
We're going to the Bocelli concert tomorrow.
Anche noi.
We are too. Now, to learn how to use all pronouns in Italian, you can watch this video lesson right here. Now, you can also pair anche with an indirect object pronoun, such as
Me,
to me,
te,
to you, and so on, to express that the same thing applies to someone else. This is especially common with verbs like
piacere,
to like,
sembrare,
to seem,
succedere,
to happen,
importare,
to care,
servire.
to need. For example,
Mi serve un diario nuovo per la scuola.
I need a new diary for school.
Anche a me.
Me too.
Anche a te piacciono le ballerine?
Do you like ballet flats too?
Sì, le trovo comodissime.
Yes, I find them very comfortable. Now, to learn how to use indirect object pronouns in Italian, make sure you watch my video lesson right here. We also use anche to express a possibility. Now, when discussing plans, anche helps you suggest options or express that something might be possible, similar to saying might as well or could also in English. For example,
Nel pomeriggio potrei anche venire da te se vuoi.
I could also come over in the afternoon if you want.
Ma domenica potremmo anche fare un picnic al lago se c'è il sole.
Well, on Sunday, we could also have a picnic by the lake if it's sunny. Anche can also be used in hypothetical scenarios. When paired with,
Se.
meaning if, anche opens the door to hypothetical or uncertain scenarios, similar to saying even if or although in English. The verb that follows can be in the indicative mood or in the subjunctive mood, depending on how certain or uncertain this situation is. Take a look at these examples.
Vengo da te anche se devo viaggiare tutta la notte.
I'm coming to you even if I have to travel all night. Here, the speaker is determined to go, no matter the challenge, and the verb in the indicative mood conveys a certainty in their decision. While on the other hand, you could say,
Verrei da te anche se dovessi viaggiare tutta la notte.
I would come to you even if I had to travel all night. In this case, it's not clear if the speaker will go, and this uncertainty is reflected in the use of the subjunctive mood. We also use anche in the expression
Anche no.
Italians often use this phrase as a fun, somewhat sarcastic response to suggestions, invitations, or ideas that aren't very appealing. It's like saying, I'd rather not, or yeah, we can also skip that in English, but with a humorous tone. This expression is especially popular among young people, though you'll hear it across all age groups. Sometimes it's preceded by
Ma.
meaning but, to add emphasis and make it a little bit more sarcastic. Take a look at these examples.
Andiamo a pranzo dai miei domenica?
Shall we go to my parents' place for lunch on Sunday?
Ma anche no.
We can skip that. Are you enjoying this lesson? Don't let the learning stop here. Make sure you download your free PDF cheat sheet for this lesson, which you'll find a link to in the description box below this video. Okay, let's get to the tricky part. Where do you place anche in a sentence? Now, in Italian, word order is super important, especially when it comes to elements like anche, whose placement in a sentence can completely change the meaning of what you're saying. As a general rule, anche always goes before the element it refers to in a sentence. Take a look at these examples.
Anche Sabrina lavora come cameriera nei fine settimana.
Also, Sabrina works as a waitress on weekends. This sentence emphasizes that Sabrina, in addition to other people, has that job.
Sabrina lavora anche come cameriera nei fine settimana.
Sabrina also works as a waitress on weekends. Here, the focus is on the fact that Sabrina has another job in addition to being a waitress on weekends.
Sabrina lavora come cameriera anche nei fine settimana.
Sabrina works as a waitress also on weekends. In this case, the emphasis is on the fact that Sabrina doesn't just work as a waitress during the week, but also on weekends. When anche refers to a verb in a compound tense, like the passato prossimo or the present perfect, you can place it either between the auxiliary verb and the past participle or after the whole verb structure. However, it should never be placed before the auxiliary verb. Again, the nuance of the meaning would change slightly depending on the position you choose. Take a look.
Ho anche discusso con Paolo.
I have also argued with Paolo. Here, anche suggests that you did other things too, and arguing with Paolo was just one of them.
Ho discusso anche con Paolo.
I have argued also with Paolo. Here, anche implies that Paolo was just one of the people you argued with. Modal verbs like
Potere,
to be able to, can, or
dovere.
to have to, must, follow the same rule as compound tenses. For example,
Puoi anche mangiare una fetta di torta.
you can also eat a slice of cake. This means that besides other activities, eating a slice of cake is something that you can do.
Puoi mangiare anche un gelato.
You can also eat a gelato. Here, anche is saying that a gelato is just another option you can choose to eat. And finally, with infinitive verbs or gerunds, anche generally comes before the verb. For example,
Anche mangiare troppi dolci fa male.
also, eating too many sweets is bad for you. This emphasizes that, in addition to other unhealthy habits, overindulging in sweets can also have negative effects.
Anche risparmiando 100 euro al mese non raggiungerai mai quella cifra.
Even saving €100 a month, you'll never reach that amount. This emphasizes that despite saving so much, you still won't reach the desired amount. We also have the Italian phrase neanche. But what does this mean?
Neanche.
It is the negative form of anche, and it is used to connect parts of a sentence that expresses negative ideas, similar to saying neither or not even in English. For example,
Non mi piace il latte. Non mangio neanche lo yogurt.
I don't like milk. I don't eat yogurt either.
Non vado mai al mare, neanche in estate.
I never go to the sea, not even in summer. Neanche can also be combined with subject pronouns such as
Io,
I,
tu,
you, and so on, and indirect object pronouns such as
me,
to me,
te.
to you, and so on, to show agreement with a negative statement. For example,
Non ho trovato i biglietti per il concerto. E tu? Neanch'io.
I didn't find tickets for the concert. Me neither.
A me non è mai piaciuto il calcio. Neanche a me.
I never liked soccer. Me neither. Here's a pro tip. You'll often hear neanche in the famous Italian idiom,
Neanche per sogno.
which literally means not even in a dream. This expression conveys the speaker's strong refusal to do something, similar to the English no way or in your dreams. For instance,
Vai in palestra sabato?
are you going to the gym on Saturday?
Neanche per sogno.
No way. To learn 22 of the most common fluency-boosting Italian idioms, make sure you watch my video lesson right here. Okay, what about anche and pure? How are they used? Now, a synonym for anche in Italian is
Pure.
and is particularly used in the southern regions of Italy. However, while both words can mean also or too, pure often adds emphasis, making what you're saying feel more forceful or enthusiastic. Let's clarify this with a couple of examples.
Voglio comprare il nuovo iPhone 16.
I want to buy the new iPhone 16.
Anch'io. Pure io.
Me too. In this example,
Anch'io.
and
Pure io.
mean exactly the same thing. You're agreeing that you want to get that shiny new phone too.
Antonio è bello e anche simpatico. Antonio è bello e pure simpatico.
Here, both sentences convey the same message. Antonio is good looking and also nice. But pure in the second sentence adds a touch of enthusiasm or surprise. It's as if you're saying, not only is Antonio good looking, but he's also super nice. Can you believe it? Pure and anche are often used interchangeably in sentences where the main clause contradicts with the subordinate clause. However, they require different grammatical constructions. For example, you can say,
Pur avendo scritto decine di email, non mi hanno mai risposto.
or you can say,
Anche se ho scritto decine di email, non mi hanno mai risposto.
Now both sentences are correct, meaning even though I wrote dozens of emails, I didn't receive a response. But they differ in structure. Notice that pure loses that E and it is followed by the gerund, which is
Avendo scritto.
meaning wrote, while anche requires se, if, along with the indicative present perfect. Now there are instances where pure cannot be used as a synonym for anche because it conveys completely different meanings. For example, when following a verb in the imperative form, pure expresses permission or a polite invitation, similar to saying go ahead in English. For example,
Vieni pure da me e ne parliamo.
come over to my place and let's talk about it.
Prego, signora, si accomodi pure.
Please, madam, go ahead and make yourself comfortable. Additionally, when it precedes the preposition
Di.
meaning of and a verb in the infinitive form, pure becomes a way to emphasize a strong desire or willingness. For example,
Pur di vincere quella gara, è disposto ad allenarsi notte e giorno.
he's willing to train day and night just to win that race.
Si sono alleati con chiunque pur di vincere le elezioni.
They joined forces or united with anyone just to win the elections. Now to learn how to use all Italian prepositions, make sure you watch my video lesson right here. Now to continue your learning and to help you practice, make sure you download your free PDF cheat sheet, which you'll find a link to in the description box below this video. If you enjoyed this lesson, then you'll love Intrepid Italian, my series of online self-paced video courses that break down everything you need to know about Italian using my unique 80-20 method. More details in the description below. Now, if you enjoyed this lesson, don't miss my lesson on how to cheat your way to fluency using modal verbs. This is such a game changer. Just click on the link right here. Plus, if you want to master Italian word order and sentence structure, make sure you watch this video lesson right here. In the meantime, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn on those notifications so you get an alert when I post more video lessons like this one. Until next time, un abbraccio. Ciao!